Hey, if you're not speaking but typing, could you go on mute, please? Thank you.
Okay. I'm ready to get started. Rao, did you want to give a tech update?
Yes, give me 1 second. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, I put the link to the tech update in the chat also. You should be able to see my screen now, I think. So we are basically chipping away at the couple of issues that we knew were outstanding. So the slashed funds being moved to the co-op wallet, I think it should be in within the next day or so. So that that should be coming into the 0920 release, which is basically what we're working towards right now. 0919 is running in the testnet. 0920 should have these other fixes. The insufficient flow bringing down the node, that issue had been merged into the dev version of the code base, and that should be coming out also. There is another piece to that, the 3937 issue, which initially was reported as a insufficient flow issue, but it's actually related to, we have more information on that. And Tomislav found that it really is related to an issue in our space, in memory snapshots of tuple space. So sometimes a consume is being lost between snapshots. So that's kind of showing up as a difference between a gap between the user deploy and the system deploy. So this is causing an execution failure. So at least we know the exact place where the error is. So we should be able to fix that. That's kind of where we are. We have put in some improvements in the Casper area. Daniel worked on these, NetZipper reworked these, and we have one merged and another one ready to be merged. And both these 2857 and 2854 PRs, what they do is help improve the long proposal times. The 2857 PR is about basically giving a parameter to constrain the height of the last finalized block, number of parents, and all that. The 2854 actually is making the replay a little bit more efficient by having it replay on top of the block that would take the least effort. So those are the couple of improvements in there. The DApp developer tools implementation, that's basically TBD. We already released the web APIs, but the exploratory deployments, that's being worked on. So that's kind of where we are on the tech update. Those are basically the highlights. Does anybody have any questions on the tech update?
Thank you, Rao. I appreciate it. And I really appreciate all the hard work that everyone's doing to make sure that everything's buttoned down before mainnet goes live on the 4th. So we had a special board meeting yesterday. You will note that a resolution was ratified for the policy on how the co-op is dealing with the scammed tokens. I've given a RCast about this, which will be released tomorrow, tomorrow or Friday, and along with it, we'll have the adjusted balances. Ian, were you able to publish the snapshot, the wallets.txt?
Sure. Here it is in the chat.
Okay. All right. So we've taken the snapshot. People should look over the snapshot, make sure that they are happy with that snapshot. The co-op will be publishing an adjusted balances that deal with the scammer tokens. People should not be concerned or worried or panicked. The algorithm is pretty fair, and the total amount of scammer tokens that we're talking about is small and limited to a few addresses. I mean, if you were buying directly from the scammers, you will take a significant hit. But by and large, for the most part, people's balances will be left untouched or only moderately adjusted. And the details of that will be available for review, hopefully by Friday at the latest. Certainly long before Tuesday. Okay, any questions on that? Okay. Moving on then, we have also published a document describing the utility of the token. This is to educate regulators, but also the community at large. So people are free to take a look at that. Ian, do you happen to have a link to that handy?
I'll put it up in just a minute.
Perfect, perfect. So please take a look if you are interested in the sort of the detailed description of the utility of the REV token.
I posted the link there, Ian.
Very good, thank you. So it would be useful for to spread the word. As I understand it, it is being translated into Chinese, or has already been translated into Chinese. So that's another piece of the puzzle, and this relates to things that we will talk about in the closed door session on Friday. Let's see, and I think that covers most of the updates in this regard. I think Ned wanted to mention a few things about the work going on with one of our partners, RChain.
Yeah, hey everybody, thanks Greg. So yeah, exciting times coming ahead, and I've been working with RChain. Some of you may remember we began working with them 9 months to a year ago, where Kayvon went up to Seattle and worked on a proof of concept with them using RCat. What they do is they're an art registry and product company. And so what they do, they have basically 3 value propositions. So one is actually 4. So one is to create a global registry stored on the blockchain of art and artists' rights that go with that, and having royalty payments all paid out and divvied up via smart contracts. So sound familiar, right? So, but this time with art, and then the way of their business model is threefold. So one is to be able to supply museums resupply them with artwork, especially when they're doing shows of a famous artist. You know, museums have an issue. They want to sell prints, but they can't overstock on the prints, and they usually typically run out. And RChain is able to, restock their inventory of high quality prints at a fraction of the time through the current supply chain. And this has caught the attention of Walmart. So Walmart is sponsoring this competition called Scale, Supply Chain and Logistics Enterprise. And they've made it to the second round, RChain has. And so that's very exciting. And I've been working with them pretty closely on their business plan. So hopefully they will be able to get some funding. So that's the wholesale aspect. And then the retail aspect is that as patrons are walking through a museum, they will be able to, we're kind of calling it Shazam for the art world, hold up their smart device, do image recognition on the art, and then be able to order a print of that art directly from their mobile device, and then two, and this is another big value proposition, be able to provide detailed information about the art that they're looking at. So, some of you go to museums and you rent, the audio tours. This has the potential to totally replace the current technology of audio tours with audio tours directly to your smartphone, as well as detailed textual information. And so those are the three value propositions: wholesale, consumer, and then information to the consumer as they're walking through the museums. And I've been working pretty closely with them on the business plan. We need to so we've already made it to round 2, and so after this Friday, we submit the business plan, and then in April in Arkansas at if anybody knows, Walmart's headquarters is in Arkansas, right? So in Arkansas, there'll be the presentations where the final monetary awards will be made. So for us, for RChain, the hope is that we will, once they get funding, we will be the ones building out the technology for them. And so that includes building out the back end on RChain, of course, and as well as building out the front end technologies and everything to get this app up and running. And that will, bring back some very nice consulting fees back to the co-op as a revenue source. So any questions? Okay, anytime anybody wants to, yeah, go on.
I'd just like to say, Ned, that's really exciting. Good luck with Friday.
Thank you. It is very exciting. All right, well, with that, I'll turn the meeting back over to Greg.
Thank you, Ned. Yeah, I'm very excited about this project. I've really enjoyed engaging with Kirsten, and I really think that people who are interested in, how the blockchain can help with arts, arts aspects of modern society, they should look at RChain carefully, because she's doing good work. She's really done her homework about the way impressions of fine art have been handled, and knows the museum culture very well and the society there. So I would definitely take a look at RChain, and the way we're thinking about the architecture for her offering is it's firmly rooted in what we were doing with RCAT. And then Kirsten has kind of added a wrinkle to the whole thing by doing some image recognition, and so that people can take snaps of pictures, or impressions of fine art stuff, and see if the images have already been registered. So that's that's, I think, a really important part of in any of this. I know when I was talking with the folks at RChain DB, they had spent a lot of time thinking about being able to track intellectual property and all the technologies that would go into that. And so I think Kirsten's sort of done a natural next step here in that regard. So I definitely take a look at Arterial. I think it's definitely worth the attention. All right.
A URL for us to look for more information on that?
I don't have one. I mean, I talked to Kirsten directly. Maybe we can dig one up and put it in Discord.
Thank you.
Sure, absolutely. Okay, folks. This time next week, we will be in live mainnet. So hold on to your hats. Ciao for now.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Everyone